you need to trust where you're going. You need to trust that you only know a little bit here and there, that you're not given the whole roadmap. And if you were given the whole roadmap, you wouldn't necessarily learn all the lessons you need to learn, because you would skip through the lessons and you would get to where you needed to get through, and you wouldn't be as happy or as satisfied with what you have, because you would not have gone through the pain and the strife that you went through to get to where you are now. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Hope. I am a wife and a mother of one child, a son, and once a week I actually pick him up in the pickup line, and I don't go in and pick him up. That's only once a week. And so I thought that I would start a series called like pickup chat, pickup car chat. I don't know. Leave below what we should call it. But I was basically thinking that we should chit chat when I'm waiting in line, because I get here like a half hour early. So today I kind of wanted to go through and talk to you a little bit about social media jealousy. And I wanted to talk to you about why it's important to not care what other people think about you. So I don't think that this day and age, it's easy to get away from judgment. You know, it's like, even if you yourself don't judge other people, you judge yourself, right? And so that makes it really complicated. And it's really complicated when you add social media in, because every time you look at an ad, or every time you look at a video, or every time you open Instagram, you can be inundated with images of things that aren't necessarily real life, right? And then also you look at your own life and think, well, I don't have that. I need that. Should I have that? And a great way to like explain that really is like, you see something and you see someone wearing the same thing over and over again, different influencers, and you're like, well, I must need that. It's almost like brainwashing, right? Like, I need that, I need that, I need that. And it's just a way for us to be consumers, right? That's really all that social media is. It's turned into a consumer platform, and that's fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. As a YouTuber, yeah, that's great. It's a great way for me to make money. It's a great way for mothers to make money, for women to make money, for anybody who wants to use this as their passion to provide an income and to use their voice. But at the same time, it can be very hard for people who are struggling, or who don't necessarily have the means to be able to make that social media life come true. And I know a lot of you have struggled with this when it comes to the way that people look on social media and the way that people present themselves physically on social media. It's a huge thing in our world these days to look at other people's bodies, to look at other people's faces, their skin, and everything, their clothes, everything they're wearing, and think, wow, I wish I had that. Why don't I have that? What are they doing that I could do? Oh, they're drinking this tea, I should buy that tea. Oh, they're eating like this, I should eat like that. Oh, they live this kind of a lifestyle. And although that is wonderful and it should be inspiring, you don't need to do those specific things in order to get what you need for yourself. You need to try different things. You need to look into what works for you and what works for your body when it comes to fitness, what works for your skin when it comes to your skincare, your makeup, what works for you as a human, and what fits into your time schedule. So that's a huge part that I kind of just wanted to jump on here and talk about. But then also, for me as a person, I struggle with people's houses. Okay, so you guys know that we bought a house, and I've always looked at other people's homes and thought, wow, it would be amazing to have a 2,000, 3,000 square foot home. That's just like unbelievable to me, because where I live, the average home is $700,000 and it's 1,100 square feet. What? I mean, that's crazy. And I get that. I get that where I live, I pay the price for that. So we bought a house that is 1,600 square feet. It's a condo, so it's not a standalone house, which brought the price down. It's also a complete fixer-upper, 100% fixer-upper. The walls need to be redone, the bathrooms, the kitchen, new floors, new carpets, new hard floors, new everything. And I will get into that a little bit later in this video, but basically, we have a home that we are going to be able to make our own and make our dream home, but it's come at a pretty high price. And the thing is that I try to remind myself that I don't need these big giant 3,000 square foot homes, because if I bought a 3,000 square foot home in the area I live in the town I live in, it's going to run me about $1.2 to $1.5 million. And I ain't got that. So here's the thing. I want you to try to, every time you see something that makes you feel like you're not worthy enough, or you don't have enough, or you'll never get there in life, I want you to look at your life right now and be grateful for it. Because a year ago, you probably wanted to be where you are now, or you were in the process of trying to get to where you are going now and you thought it could never happen. And so I want you to take a hot minute, wait, look at your life and be like, oh my gosh, my life is so good and it's exactly where I need to be and where I am supposed to be. And I say that because last year at this time, I was in a place where I honestly did not know what I was going to do. If I was going to live where we're living, if I was still going to be with my husband, if we were still going to be a family. We went through a lot of stuff last year, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. Last year was a really rough year. It was a really life-changing year for me, and I really thought at one point that I was going to be a single mother living in an apartment and working full-time to make ends meet. We worked through what we had to work through, and the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, has different plans for me and had different plans for me. I just couldn't see it at that time. I trust what I needed to trust, and I'm here now. My husband and I were able to buy a home together happily. We worked through our problems. We've worked through things. We've been together 20 years, so things are going to come up. I can't say that in 20 years this is the first time that we've said maybe this isn't going to work, because that would be a lie. After 20 years, we've done this a couple times, but we figured out how to get to resolutions, and the universe has now brought us to a point where we have a house that is completely in shambles on the inside. The outside is awesome, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a minute when it comes to the VA loan and the loan portion. So if you don't want to hear that, that'll be later. You can skip over that. But basically, we're going to be able to make it our own and turn it into a luxury home on a smaller scale, on a smaller size. So my point of this video is not to brag. My point of this video is not to tell you, oh my gosh, we bought a house, this. My point of this video is to say, look, the universe always has a plan for you. God, whatever you want to call it, always has a bigger plan for you. Always knows where you're going. But you need to trust where you're going. You need to trust that you only know a little bit here and there, that you're not given the whole roadmap. And if you were given the whole roadmap, you wouldn't necessarily learn all the lessons you need to learn, because you would skip through the lessons and you would get to where you needed to get through, and you wouldn't be as happy or as satisfied with what you have, because you would not have gone through the pain and the strife that you went through to get to where you are now. And that's why the universe plays these games and does what it does. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. But my point of this video is for you to trust the process. Wherever you are now is where you are supposed to be. Don't look at videos, don't look at social media, don't look at YouTubers, don't look at Instagram, don't look at anybody and say, I wish that I could be her. I wish that I could be them. It's okay to look at them and say, wow, that's awesome, and I inspire to be like that. It's inspirational that they can live that life. But remember that mostly what you see is smoke and mirrors. Roll the window up. I know that last video I announced that we bought a house, and I really want to show you guys that house. We had the final inspection today and it went really well, so hopefully we'll be closing next week and I will get to show you the house. So if any of you out there have done a VA loan, then you know that the criteria for the way that the house is really, really strict. So meaning if you've ever bought a home before and you're using a regular loan, you can make the choice if you want to buy that house and the roof isn't so great, or there's dry rot or mold or whatever it is, and you can say, okay, well, that's fine, I'm still going to buy the house, and the loan company really doesn't care. They're like, whatever, do what you want with it, right? But when you have a VA loan, or which is a veteran's loan, or you have a federal loan, the criteria is a lot stricter, because they want to make sure that whatever house you buy is going to stand the test of time, basically. They want to make sure that you're not going to get in there and then be have a bunch of renovations that have to be done and be over your head and underwater in that kind of a situation. So my husband is a veteran. He was in the Coast Guard, and we are able to use the VA loan, which has been a huge blessing for us. It's a no down payment loan. So you do put a deposit down, but there's no down payment. The interest rates are really low, and it actually looks really good for the people that are that are selling the house, because it's military. So with that aside, that's how we are buying our house, and it is a complete project. My husband is so excited. I've never seen him so happy to do stuff. But basically, we are buying this house and gutting the entire inside. So we are tearing the floors up, we are redoing the walls, we are pulling the baseboards, we are redoing the windows, we are redoing the kitchen, redoing the bathrooms. And in order to clear on the loan, there were a couple things that needed to be redone before we could actually get the VA's approval. And so we've done like a mini cheap remodel to a couple things. So we've put in a new floor in both bathrooms upstairs. We've put in a wall that's new wall in the shower upstairs because that was rotting. And there's a couple other things. The current owner has to pay for new toilets to go in the house. So we will get $300 credit for every toilet in the house, and there's 3 of them. So we have to get new toilets. And there's been just a few things that have needed to be done before the inspector could come back and clear it again. So we've basically done like a mini remodel before we do a real remodel. Like everything has just been pretty cheaply done because we're trying to keep it within the $5,000 budget that the current owner is paying for this to be fixed for the VA to approve it. That's a really complicated situation, and I'm not going to get into it in this video. If you want to know more about the VA loan and how that works, then you definitely can leave me a comment below and I'll answer your questions. And if there's enough comments, I'll make a video about it. But this house is basically in our price range. It's going to be a complete fixer-upper, which my husband is going to do. So all we'll pay for is materials, because he's and I together are going to do all of the manual labor, except for little things. We might have people paint, and we had people tear the deck out, things like that. But like laying the floors, somebody's putting the carpets in, but laying the hard floors downstairs, we're going to do just things like that. So if you guys want to see that, I'm going to film it. I'm going to document it just for our purposes, and I will be putting it on the channel. Check that out. But what I'm really excited about is that this home is going to be ours to make our own, and we can make it look the way that we want it to look and make it feel like it is ours and almost like it's new construction, even though it's not, since we're doing a full remodel on the inside. So I try to tell myself, that brings me back to this whole social media thing. Like I try to tell myself that for us, a 1,600 square foot home is huge. The home we live in now is 1,400 square feet. And like I said, most of the houses around here are about 1,100 to 1,200 square feet. They're pretty small. So it is a huge blessing for us and our family. And it is a incredible blessing that we are able to renovate it and put the money into it. And when we buy it, we'll already have equity in the house because it's worth more than what we're paying for it. So the whole situation has been a blessing, and it's been something that I've manifested and that my husband has manifested, and I can get into that more again if you guys want. That sort of ties more into my other channel, but I definitely feel that this house is meant for us. So we should be closing next week, and even though it's not a 3,000 square foot home like a lot of the homes on YouTube are, it doesn't have 4 bedrooms and 3 huge bathrooms and bonus rooms and family rooms and living rooms and this and that. It has a good sized kitchen. It's got a great sized living room. We're blessed to have 3 bathrooms, a walk-in closet in the master, and we're just blessed to be able to own a piece of property in the county that I grew up in, which is hideously expensive. So I just want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about that and let you guys know what was going on with that. So with that being said, we are going to head over to a different flooring store after I pick up Mason. I've got to go check out their floors because the hard floors that we wanted from Home Depot, they don't sell or we can't find anymore. I might have found them online, but I'm not sure if they're the same ones. So when we go in and we order the carpets to be put in, we need to go and figure that out. And I'm really excited to share the color scheme with you guys and what we are planning on doing. So definitely leave a comment below and let me know if you guys want to check that out and see that. And I will see you guys later.
I see you standing there, golden atmosphere. Smell of your aftershave, sweet blossom in